What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And what we're going to be doing is looking at the 1 week time frame here. And I want to do this so we can step back, really take a big, deep breath. I know everybody's nervous right now. But guys, just looking at this, and this is just my opinion, I just feel like the fear is too much for what's actually going on. Right now, I understand we have Russia and the Ukraine situation taking place. We have Powell, who's going to be speaking on Wednesday. And my opinion is most likely, guys, and this isn't financial advice, all this is already going to be priced in. And then once we get past his comments, we could potentially get some type of a bounce out of there. Because right now, I mean, the Dow Jones, if we take a look here, we just look at the normal markets. We got the SPY down 4%, 3.5%. We got the Dow Jones down 3%, the NASDAQ down 5%. So in my opinion, we have all this overreaction. And then once we get past this news, we potentially could be able to get at least some type of relief rally. And guys, when we're looking at this here, you know, and I was going back to our previous bear market, which I lived through, guys. I got into this market, you know, back in this range here. So I've lived through this entire cycle that you're seeing here. And I've got to see these crashes. And what I notice is in the beginning, so even if we're in a bear market now, in the beginning of the bear market, you get these massive reactions or these relief rallies that take place. And when we're looking at this over here, just to give you an example, we're looking at 100% bounce that we're getting back in this range here. So that was this one back in here. If we measure this one from the wick up to the high, we're talking 60%. So these relief bounces can be huge. And what I like to do is throw fibs on them. And what I'll do, I'll go from the top here and say we go all the way down to even 28,000, somewhere in that range. I would still expect some type of relief rally back to that 0.5, which could potentially still take us to $48,000, or even that 0.618, which could allow us to test this 52,000 again. And then if we saw rejection up at this range, most likely that is confirmation of the bear market. And we'll see further rejection to the downside. But whenever you drop this far, this fast, it's just like when you go up that fast, you're going to have that correction, or you're going to have that retracement. So when I'm looking at this and I've seen how far and how fast we've dropped, I still believe we're due for some type of relief rally that could take us up to, you know, $48,000 to $50,000 whenever we do find this bottom here, which is going to be important. But so many people let their emotions rule them. Like right now, guys, I was entering, and I do it very slowly because of situations like this. But once the fear gets extreme, I start entering positions down in here. And what I did was entering, you know, Ethereum positions as well as Bitcoin, just very slowly. But as this price is dropping, I have limit orders that are set at these crazy ranges. I even have some that are set down around 28,000 right now. If we do just blow down through this, everyone thinks we're going to drop through 30, you know, something similar that we had over here. I told you this was the toughest price action I've ever dealt with in my life. I believed it was just going to break down through here. We're going to go test 20,000, and all of a sudden we got that bullish engulfing candle and reversed out for a great gain. So you always have to watch those things. If we've been this extended, you know, I wouldn't see us actually breaking through 30,000 with even more power when the hash rate's at an all-time high. So I'm not trying to put moon boy hopium out there. I'm a little buried in my positions right now, guys. I'm taking a little bit of heat right now. But number one, I don't use huge amounts of my capital. Okay, so I'm not going all in. And I'm just trying to get a great average price so that if we do get this reaction out of here, I can have a wonderful swing trade. And that's how I like to play this game. I like to buy the fear, but I don't buy it all at once. As this is dropping, here's a limit order, limit order, limit order, limit order. And you guys can only use, you know, 10% of your account, 15% of your account. It doesn't have to be all at once. So definitely something that you want to watch there. And then when we look at this and we step back on the 1 week, our stock RSI is at 1.82 and 2. So that's extremely oversold. Our relative strength is at 36 on the weekly. We have not seen these levels. So even in March, back in this range when we had the flu dump there, we got to the level we are at now before we went on to rip all the way up to, you know, $65,000. So people who are panic selling down in this range, I think that's one of the worst things that you can possibly do. I think dollar cost averaging, this isn't financial advice, around these ranges with anticipation of a reaction rally. And if I don't get a good reaction rally and it's not on good volume and everything, guys, then I sell that position and hopefully I made a little profit off it. I go back to cash or stable coins and I'm patiently waiting for the next great opportunity. That's how it's played. And it's not catching a falling knife when something's been down this far. I'm interested in the fundamentals. Hash rates at an all-time high. And I think the market's overreacting to the Fed potentially raising rates slightly, whatever. And you know, slowing down quantitative easing a little bit. We'll have to see. We're going to have to see how hawkish he is. But I just like when there's so much euphoria in the air, guys, it's the opposite. And I would still anticipate, if we're taking a look at our 2 week here, I'm sorry, that's our 2 day, our 2 week. And also, if you guys get some from this, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm just being as honest as I can, guys. I've watched this space for 5 years, and you know what? We may blow all the way down and go to zero, but I don't see it happening with all the fundamentals and everything that's going on for Bitcoin, and even countries adopting it. But when we're looking here at the 2 week, you would still at least expect, once we put in our bottom here, a relief reaction out of this. And this is typically what they look like. And then that's where we would see our rejection. So we'll have a one wave up, we'll have a correction, then another one almost like an ABC out of there, pushing up, down, up, and then we could potentially see some rejection there depending on what type of volume we have. And then we would have that confirmation. But right now we haven't had that true confirmation. If we take a look on the 2 week here, wanted to point this out for you as well. So we'll go back to the 1 week. We're at our 8 and 9 as well, just like we were back in here before we got that reversal. We still spent more time after the 8 and 9. If you can take a look at this on our TD sequential here. Get this stuff out of our way. Okay, so right here, we also have that coming into these lower areas. So eventually, guys, smart money is going to be jumping into this. Right now, we are still in the green. Yes, we've been going down, but when we're looking at the weekly, we still are in the green even for the money flow, which is pretty crazy. So, you know, when we're looking at this stuff, I smell opportunity. It may just take some time, and I may have to wait a couple months before I do sell, you know, depending on how long it takes to get into the strength. But these are the opportunities that I look for, and they don't come that often. I mean, when you're looking at the 3 day is completely oversold, the 1 day is completely oversold, the 12 hours oversold, the 4 hours oversold. I mean, everything's oversold. Eventually, you're going to get one of those relief rallies out of there, and that's what I like to play. Okay, so we'll take a quick look at Ethereum here. Right now, we're at 2,338. Same deal, 8 and 9 on here, guys. Our stock on the weekly is at 4 and 4, and I've also been reading some articles about the whales picking up Ethereum right now. So that's definitely something I've been keeping an eye on. That's my biggest position right now, is what I'm paying attention to, is Ethereum. Relative strength right now in the weekly is at 36. We have not seen these levels, even the massive crash in the summertime. We only got to about 50 or so, and we're sitting at 36 right now, guys. I mean, that's crazy. And these are the opportunities that I like to look for. Yeah, I might have to sit and take a little bit of heat here, but once we do bounce from the area we find support, you know, support areas, we're going to look to see if we can hold 1,700 would be the main support area. Overhead resistance, we got to get back over top about 2,700, then be up to around that 3,000 psychological level. But, you know, these are the opportunities I like to look for, because if the bull market is not over, and this is just a really nasty, almost like a wave 4 correction that's really hard for anybody to find the bottom, once it does reverse, special things can happen. I'm not saying we have to go to all-time highs. I'm just saying you can still get a, you know, 38 to 70% bounce out of there, and that's the type of stuff that I'm looking for. So I'm not panicking right now. I'm not panic selling. I've actually been buying into this fear, slowly laddering in, not anything crazy. I have some lower levels too. If this wants to get that overextended, then this is where you got to take bets, you know, guys, and I'm going to continue to be safe and protect capital and everything, but I do like to take a little bit of risk at these levels. That's just me. You guys let me know. God bless you all. Take care.